Aristotle once noted, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This statement, often quoted, functions less as inspiration and more as empirical observation. Human life is structured by repetition. Small, consistent actions, reaching for a device, navigating a familiar route, repeating conversational patterns, compose the invisible architecture of daily experience. In 2006, researchers at Duke University estimated that approximately 40% of daily behavior is guided by habit, not active decision-making. This automation is a function of the brain's energy efficiency. By minimizing the need for repeated deliberation, the mind preserves cognitive resources for tasks that are novel or uncertain. This tendency has evolutionary roots. Automated responses once improved survival, ensuring essential actions occurred with minimal thought. Today, the same efficiency can both support and undermine individual agency. Habits are encoded in the basal ganglia, a neural structure associated with movement regulation, emotion, and procedural memory. Once established, a habit becomes neurologically durable, often persisting even in the absence of conscious intent. The model most often cited to explain this phenomenon is the habit loop: cue, routine, reward. For example, cue, a moment of stress; routine, opening a social media app; reward, a temporary sense of distraction or relief. Over time, the repetition of this loop reduces the involvement of the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for planning and reflection. What begins as a choice becomes a reflex. Beyond the personal domain, habit functions at a societal level through social conditioning. From early development, individuals are exposed to cultural norms, expectations concerning success, gender, behavior, and aesthetics. Unlike explicit instruction, these frameworks are absorbed ambiently through media, institutions, and interpersonal feedback. Psychologist Carl Jung offered a relevant perspective. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. This unconscious influence includes heuristics, mental shortcuts designed to expedite decision-making. While efficient, they are also imprecise and can introduce systematic bias. Media theorist Walter Lippmann described stereotypes as pictures in our heads. These cognitive simplifications shape perception, often in ways individuals do not recognize. Consider a familiar example. When job applications with unfamiliar or non-Western names receive fewer responses, it often reflects implicit bias, not deliberate exclusion. The mechanism at work is pattern recognition, efficient but susceptible to flawed assumptions. Despite the deeply embedded nature of habit, change is possible. Contemporary neuroscience confirms that the adult brain remains plastic, capable of forming new connections throughout life. The key lies in interrupting automaticity. By bringing habitual behavior into conscious awareness, even momentarily, the brain is prompted to engage different neural pathways. Questions such as, what triggered this response? Is this belief inherited or personally evaluated? Can initiate measurable cognitive change. Repeated reflection of this nature encourages the formation of new circuits while weakening those previously dominant. As author James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. The implication is structural. Change is not achieved through ambition alone, but through adjustment of the surrounding environment. Small interventions, altering routines, adding barriers to undesired behavior, or modifying physical or digital spaces can incrementally reshape the loop. Behavioral science emphasizes this not a matter of willpower. It is a methodical process, often slow and invisible, yet observable in aggregate outcomes. Total autonomy from conditioning may be unattainable, but increased awareness, deliberate design, and consistent revision of behavioral systems offer a path toward more intentional action. Not as an ideal, but as a practice.